overthinking. I think we need more thinking.
And man, I have said it once, and I'll say it again. If you haven't had 5 heart attacks watching an NBA game, you haven't been watching the Nuggets games.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
And over the shoulder, no looker.
How's it going, everyone? That's right, I am back. Your boy CS Chandler is back in the saddle. After about a week of missing some games, we are now back in action. If you're new to the channel, I am CS Chandler, talking to you about Nuggets basketball. We had a great game tonight, but first, before we get there, let's get a little catch up here. So I was out and having myself a little bit of vacation, but at the same time, the issues going on with my channel have been, or really just business issues in general, have been continuing. So I've been worrying about that. At the same time, some positive stuff with the channel has happened in favor of me. So hopefully there'll be no more issues. Fingers crossed. But and then we had after that amazing win against the Celtics, then you had OKC and Timberwolves. And both of those games really looked like the Nuggets were going to win. After catching up on all of it, and I definitely had to catch up a little bit because I was in an area where you couldn't even get internet in the middle of the Caribbean. But, I did catch a little bit of the Thunder game and the Timberwolves game, and I had to rewatch them. But that OKC game, it was really frustrating, more so on the fact of just the Nuggets themselves. So my thing about that game is, the main story coming out of that game is the dirty play by Lou Dort, and it was a very atrocious dirty play, but at the same time, that is who that is. What I say is that Lou Dort is Draymond Green of today. He is our new Draymond Green. So you got to get kind of used to it, because unless the NBA does something about it and removes him from the NBA like they did Pat Beverly, then he's pretty much here to stay. And we just got to accept a little bit of frustration. Grab your Advil if you need it, because you got to get through these OKC games somehow. But, that to me was just a small little factor in that game, because when it comes down to it, yes, you had gross calls in favor of the Thunder as typical, but at the same time, you also had some calls in favor of the Nuggets. I mean, yes, that dust up with Lou Dort was bad, and then you had that punk Williams acting like he is actually tough. And then posting on social media of a photo of him looking tough after that scuffle, which is just ridiculous. Despite all of that, it led to Lou Dort getting ejected. So you didn't have Lou Dort anymore in that game. And then you had a flagrant one tacked on to Hartenstein, which is awesome because he definitely throws flagrant ones all the time and never gets called. So glad to see that was called. And so you got another chance. You also had the tech in the beginning of the game against SGA. You missed that free throw. And then you also had no SGA in the clutch in the overtime quarter there. Cam gave up a very good look. I mean, I just can't stop thinking if that was Aaron Gordon making that shot, it would have gone in. But we got Cam, and then you got that bad overtime quarter from the Nuggets, to be honest. And then the fact that Jamal Murray showed up really late to be sinking in threes. Like, where were you just in the fourth quarter, Jamal? Like, why couldn't you have sank those buckets? But it wasn't just about that. It was about the lack of defense. It was a lot about the missing key shots where they needed to happen. And so the Nuggets definitely let that one go. That was they had a moment. You didn't have Dort. You didn't have SGA. This was the moment to attack OKC, and yet you still allowed Cason Wallace to go off on you. You had Caruso making clutch threes. So that one was frustrating in the fact that they just let that one go. And that was a really big moment to be able to flip the script, because OKC came into Denver and won, and now they won on their own turf. You got to get at least 2 wins against OKC this summer, or this season. You can't let them win that series. They're absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, and then you had the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves, a lot of people crashing out because they played a really good first quarter and then just shit the bed, essentially, for lack of better usage. But that one, to me, was frustrating. It was very frustrating because it just seemed like there was no fight in them. But at the same time, I mean, they were just on the road and they'd been back and forth. And the good thing about that one is that we did already win the series against the Timberwolves. Yes, it would have been amazing to have won that game, because losing that game definitely tanked us into the 5th seed. But, you know, we still won that season series against the Timberwolves, which could turn out to be very useful for the Nuggets when it comes down to seeding at the end of the season, and just like, about a month left. And so I wasn't I was still frustrated with that loss, but to me, it was a little bit okay because of that factor. And I think that the team might have thought about that too. And that's why they didn't try as hard. They're like, oh, well, we already won the series. We don't really need to put out a full effort on this one. And then they also figured out that it's the start of the back-to-back. And then you go into Utah and you go into a clutch with a team that's intentionally tanking. And so you know, you had a bad win, but it's win is a win. And then you had some really ugly losses, and the Nuggets are just kind of trying to find their identity right now again, right? They're trying to figure out how to do better in the clutch without key players. I mean, Jamal Murray is 100% one of our best clutch players, Jokic as well. But Aaron Gordon doesn't get enough credit for how much he adds to this team defensively and offensively, in the clutch especially too. I mean, you need that size. And so and then also Peyton Watson, man, like, we have been missing that rim protection badly without him. But, you know, at least you got to win in Utah. And tonight, Nuggets faced the Lakers for the second time. If you remember, the first time was in Denver as well. So this was their second time in Denver. The first time, they destroyed the Lakers in the first 3 quarters of that game. And then the Lakers came back in the fourth and were able to win that game in the clutch, as the Nuggets have just been really terrible, you know, in these clutch moments. But so the Nuggets, with a rocky couple of games, now having dropped to the 5th seed and just a half a game above the Lakers, now look to make a statement. This was their statement game, I feel like. The injury list going into this game was Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson. Now Spencer Jones is out with a shoulder injury. Cam Johnson is out with an ankle. So you had those guys out. And real quick, just one thing about Cam. I don't know if you all saw his post-game interview after the Timberwolves, where he just, like, I love how DNVR, and I think it's Dev on DNVR was describing it, is that Cam Johnson has the Eeyore energy. If you don't know Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, he's always down on himself. He always hangs his head low. That is 100% right now what I saw from Cam Johnson in the interview post Timberwolves. He did 2 interviews, which is weird. I guess he did one pre-shower and then he done the one after shower. Regardless, he had his head low the entire time, and he's not looking like himself at all. And it's very like woe is me kind of stuff. And there's 2 takeaways I have with this. One, it's very human. It's very human. And so at that side of it, I love it. I love seeing the humanity something that I can identify with players, seeing how they're struggling and they're trying to fight through this and everything. And Cam Johnson just isn't hiding his emotions that well right now. And so you see that frustration, you see that how much it's affecting him. But then on the other end, they're professional. They should be getting through this. Like, chin up, come on. Like, you can't be down on yourself. You have to keep on fighting through it. So there's like, it's like a double-edged sword. Like, on one end, yes, I respect it because I've been through those issues myself sometimes where I just feel really down on myself and I'm trying to figure out a way to battle back. But then on the other end, you got to, lift yourself up by your bootstraps and push forward. So I hope Cam Johnson gets his shit together, essentially. When he comes back from his ankle injury, I hope that he actually, has a little bit of a renaissance here, comes back and finishes out the season strong. Because if he doesn't, I think that he could be very much on the chopping block come off season. And Nuggets could trade him away for someone else. But hopefully, if they did that, hopefully someone that is, worth it in the from three. So the starting lineup in this game was Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, Zeke Nnaji got the start, and Julian Strawther and Jokic. I am still really digging Julian Strawther. He had a bad game in OKC, I think it was. He had 0 points in that one. Not a good look, Julian. But he is still showing some really good moments, and that's what I kind of really love right now. The Nuggets were in their blue jerseys. The Lakers were in their yellow jerseys. And the Nuggets got the dub. Let's go. Take that L on the way out, Lakers. Or I should say fake show. Final score, 120-113. And man, I have said it once, and I'll say it again. If you haven't had 5 heart attacks watching an NBA game, you haven't been watching the Nuggets games. They love to just make you feel like you're gonna die. That last 2 minutes, I couldn't handle it. It was way too much intensity for me. I sucked through it though, but man, if the Nuggets could not let me feel like I'm about to go into cardiac arrest, like that would be great. That would be phenomenal. Please, Nuggets, please play a little better in the clutch moments. In the last 5 minutes, I'm just begging you, please don't have these such close games. I know it creates good television and everything. I don't need that. I don't need that. I have way too many good stuff in television to watch. What I want to watch is you dominate other teams. That Portland Trailblazers game, perfect. Loved it. Won by over 50 points. That's what I love. This winning by like marginal points in the very seconds of the game, don't love it. Don't love it. It's too much for me. But I mean, I'll take the win. Obviously, I'll take the win, and I love the win, and especially a win against the Lakers. I'll take that any day. But I can't take the near almost dropping a game after you've been up 15 points twice. The Nuggets were up 15 points twice in this game, and they managed to just get a win by 7 points. After they chipped it down to, I think it was 3 was the lowest one. But man, this was a game for sure. So what happened in this game? I mean, I just gave you a couple of hits there and there, but let's break it down really. The first quarter, Nuggets controlled the tip as Jamal Murray sets the tone, really. He sets the tone early. He gets fouled, goes to the line, and he gets fouled from the arc, mind you. And so he goes to the line, shoots 3 free throws, makes all 3 for the first points of the game. And then Murray and Jokic scored the first 11 points of this game. Murray then buries a 3 to force the Lakers to a timeout, and first timeout of the game. And at this moment in the first quarter, he is already at 9 points. Jamal Murray had a phenomenal game, and that's what I love the most. Even in the other stats, like yes, Jokic got another triple-double. I'll talk about that later. But despite that, there was low turnovers from Jamal. He played great defense when he needed to. I mean, I just think that there's something about the Lakers that brings out the absolute best in Jamal. It's that, and it's also, for some reason, Portland Trailblazers bring out a really good game in Jamal because he typically has really good games against them. The Lakers, slow to defend, allow the Nuggets to rack up the first 13 points of the game before Luka chips that lead down. Then Jokic, he is called for a foul on Luka that the Nuggets take a timeout to challenge. And it was going to be his second foul of the game. So they take a timeout to challenge it. I don't know why they did, actually. I think there was more of a trying to get that foul removed from him. It was a bad call. It was a really bad call on Adelman to take that timeout because there was actually a very blatant call that the refs missed. It was an out of bounds call in the fourth quarter that they should have overturned and they didn't. So Adelman, had he had his challenge to use, could have saved it and we could have possibly not even gone down 3. But he really dropped the ball there. And so this stands, the foul stands, and with 3 quarters left in the game, Adelman doesn't have a timeout anymore, or a challenge to use anymore. So that's one frustrating thing really about Adelman. Like, there's definitely, I think, a lot more growing frustration from Adelman. The fact that he doesn't know how to really plan good lineups with the clutch in the fourth quarter. I think he's experimenting way too much. And then he's also really soft on taking accountability for everything. Like, it took a couple of days before Adelman finally called out the dirtiness of Lou Dort in that OKC game. That should have been front and center. After that game, you call that out. You say how dirty that was. I mean, Dagnott took no time at all to say that the refs missed that one and that was a stupid call and that we continue seeing tripping now. We should accept that it's a flagrant 2 every single time. I mean, and then you also have Lou Dort later on insincerely apologizing for it, which I didn't believe him at all, because then they go on to face the Knicks, and he does the same shit all the time. He's going to be who he is. But still, like, Adelman needs to back his team up for one, and then also hold them to the fire on the other side. Like, he needs to call out guys more often, and he needs to back his team up. I want to see him get a tech. I want to see him get more techs. I want to see him get ejected, especially with how the refs are allowing all of this contact on Jokic. I want to see Adelman fired up like Malone would be and yell at the refs enough to get ejected out of the game. I want to see that. And I think that the Nuggets would actually appreciate that too. But he doesn't. He uses and also these challenges. He had a little, I think it was in January, he had a really good stretch of really good challenges. And then now he's really bad. I don't know what it is. But, and then from this, Luka really shows that he's struggling in this game from behind or from the free throw line. Because he keeps on missing buckets every time he's going to the free throw line, even though he's like flopping to get to there. Like, it just, like, the ball don't lie. Definitely the ball did not lie with Luka tonight. LeBron then goes on to make history, as they would rave about. They always rave about LeBron making history, but he made history with the most field goals in NBA history, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, I guess cool. I mean, I don't know. The Nuggets then outscore the Lakers 32-22 in the first quarter, so a 10-point lead. Second quarter. Nuggets start the quarter off with a lineup of Big Val, Zeke Nnaji, Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Jamal Murray as Kennard super quickly. Like, I don't even think they had the scoreboard or the little like bug of the score up on display before he sank a three. It was so quick. It just immediately starts it off, sinks the three for the first bucket of the game of the quarter. Then Murray on the other end with a jump back two gets the Nuggets on board. Jamal Murray, man, I'm telling you, he had a great game tonight. Lakers then locking in more on defense, making it more difficult for the Nuggets to get a good bucket or even an offensive rebound, because they were definitely struggling in the second quarter to get that second chance points, especially with Big Val. Big Val, the DNVR said this. I definitely see it too. Big Val is definitely struggling right now. I don't know what it is, but he has not been himself. He's scoring like maybe 2 points, if that, and he's causing turnovers, not being able to get the rebound. I mean, say what you will about DeAndre Jordan, that dude got the rebounds. He gets those rebounds. I don't know what Big Val is doing right now. Like, he's getting way too frustrated, like Jokic is, with small defenders, and it's disrupting his style of play. I think he just needs to lock back in and bully some guys around. Grab that freaking rebound, man. Zeke and Murray both hit dagger threes and extend the lead to the largest it's been at 15. So we're here in the second quarter, largest lead so far, 15. Lakers go on a 10-0 run from this, cut it down to 5. Jokic checks back in at the 8:20 mark, and then Murray with a 3 extends the lead back to 10. And then Luka gets teed up, and Jamal hits the free throw. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is his 15th straight technical foul in a game. If he gets one more technical foul, Luka will be suspended for a game. So they have a back-to-back tomorrow. They're flying back to LA tonight. So who knows? If he gets teed up in that game, you're not going to see Luka on the game following that. So I was kind of hoping that he would have gotten teed up again and been ejected, but oh well. But luckily for Jamal, he hits that free throw, 11-point lead at that point, and Nuggets first to 50. Both teams then tie the quarter at 30. The Nuggets still have that lead going into the halftime, 64-54. Third quarter is where things kind of fall apart. So Nuggets start off with the starters as Luka to Hayes for the lob and the first bucket of the quarter. That Luka Hayes lob factor is really frustrating as a team facing that Lakers. And he had that with a lot of pretty much the entire team in Dallas. Like, you had PJ Washington lob, you had Derek Lively lob effect, you had Derek Jones, right? I mean, all of them pretty much he has a lob issue or a lob effect with. And so now he's building it in on the Lakers with Hayes. So that starts off the quarter, which kind of tells you all you really need to know about that. Murray then still hot, sinks a 3 to get the Nuggets on board, and the Nuggets still looking consistent from the first half. They are putting pressure onto Luka and the Lakers, giving them rough looks to shoot. Luka then gets tagged with a goaltend, and the Lakers challenge that call. That's unsuccessful, so now there are no more challenges in this game. Like, as much as I hate that the Nuggets don't have a challenge, luckily, like, you know, let's go. Let's just play basketball now. No more challenges. Let's go. Jokic then commits his 6th turnover. 6th. Not the amount of turnovers he ends with. Allows Hachimura to sink a 3 to cut the lead into single digits. Lakers then opt for a small ball lineup, which really disrupts the Nuggets. And that they allowed them to chip the lead down even further to 4. Jokic to Brucey for 3, gets the lead back up to 11, and gives Jokic another triple-double, so he gets that in the third quarter of this game. And then Lakers outscore the Nuggets 32-29 in that quarter. Fourth quarter, the Nuggets start off with a lineup of Big Val, Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., Zeke Nnaji, and Jamal Murray, as Tim Hardaway Jr. sinks a 3 for the first bucket of the quarter. Let's go, Timmy. Tim Hardaway Jr. then gets fouled at the arc, goes to the line, makes all 3 buckets to get the Nuggets first to 100. And then Jokic checks back in at the 7:41 mark and immediately causes a turnover. But then the Lakers are once again able to chip down the lead to 7. Nuggets then keep turning the ball over, allowing the Lakers to chip down the lead even further to 3. And then Lakers rely on the Luka to Hayes lob effect to knowing that the Nuggets can't defend it, to continue to chip that lead down and to keep it low. But the lucky thing is that the Lakers will never have a lead. They never got a lead. They never even tied the game. Only to 3 is the lowest that they got it to. But Jokic then saves the game for the Nuggets. He gets a layup to extend it back to 5, forces the Lakers to take the approach of playing the foul game. And in the final seconds, Jokic heads to the line and hits major clutch free throws. Both teams tie the quarter at 27, but the Nuggets still hold on. A 7-point victory. Once again, 120-113 is your final score. Let's go Nuggets. Take that L out on the way out, Lakers, because also they always pack the court, and I love it when they do that and have to take the walk of shame. Don't hit the door, hit you on the way out, Lakers. Let's go. The Nuggets are starting to show signs of taking a turn for the better. This is the Nuggets' first back-to-back win since January 30th. Guys are starting to show up in the clutch, which also allowed the Nuggets to get 2 more clutch wins. Their whole identity for years has been about winning in the clutch. This year, they have shown that they are not that same team, but there still could be hope they could get back to being that same team. With Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson coming back into the lineup soon, this might just be the turning point for the Nuggets. With 19 games to go, the window is closing. The Nuggets need to make a push now. Let me know in the comments what you think, but I think this is the turning point for the Nuggets for sure. I think we've hit our lowest point, and it's not getting any easier. We do have the toughest schedule in the NBA, as we normally do. I don't know why we always end the season with the toughest point, but it kind of feels like this entire season has been the toughest schedule. It kind of feels like we got the toughest schedule overall because we did. Because the NBA somehow hates the Nuggets because they have that home court advantage, and they did everything they could to make sure that the Nuggets don't have any kind of advantage at home by not making them so much of a home team. But whatever, it is what it is. As David Adelman would say, we got the it is what it is, and we got to keep on going on, right? So. The stats for this game, we had Christian Braun with 15 points after playing 39 minutes tonight, a near 40-minute game for him, which is the most amount of minutes of any Nugget. So he racks up 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 6 for 12 from field, 50% there. Not bad. Not bad for CB. I think he is definitely showing signs of being more of the CB that we saw last season. Love that. Don't know if you caught him on the Cam Johnson podcast there, Old Man in the Three. He was the guest, and he actually brought some really good takes of what he's going through right now. And I think that it was really, the fact that he points out that with Russell Westbrook being in the lineup last season, it put some kind of fire on him to continue to be better. And right now, I hope that Peyton Watson is kind of doing that right now. But at the same time, this is the first time that he has ever had to deal with these injuries. Before the season started, he had an injury. And then he gets that ankle injury in LA, is out for several months, and he's just trying to find his footing again. And so I don't think people should be as hard as they are on him. I think he's going to bounce back. And if anything, he could be even better than he was last season. And I kind of have high hopes for him. If not this season, definitely next season. So he also shot 2 for 6 in 3, 1 for 2 in free throw, 1 turnover, 0 personal fouls, was a +8. Zeke Nnaji, who his stat lines aren't going to show the impact that he had tonight, but he definitely had a great defensive game. I think the way he defended LeBron James really kept LeBron down. What did LeBron end with? He ended with 16. So, I mean, there's not much guys on the Nuggets who can actually defend LeBron very well. I think Jamal defends against him pretty well. Peyton Watson does, and Aaron Gordon definitely does, because he definitely gets into his chili, as they would say. And then Zeke Nnaji. I think those are your 4 guys that can defend LeBron. Other than that, anyone's getting smoked. So he played 23 minutes tonight, and he put up 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He shot 2 for 4 from field, 1 for 2 from 3, 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls, was a 0. But I promise you, he was a lot better than the stats say. I promise you that. The defensive side, you don't get that so much of that, but he was great. Then our MV3, Jokic, played 37 minutes tonight, and in his triple-double, he got nearly a quadruple-double. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He shot 67% from field, 10 out of 15. He couldn't make a 3. He shot 1, didn't make it, so he was 0 for 1 there. But he did make all of his free throws, which is awesome, so 8 for 8 there. He had 9 turnovers. This is the second time this season where he had almost a quadruple-double based on turnovers. And I got to tell you, I really think that it's OKC that broke him. I really do. Because the frustration for being a Nuggets fan and for being a Jokic fan is just, for years, we have seen so many hard coverage on him, of him getting clawed up and hit and fouled and flagrant fouled and everything. Like, you can just create a whole laundry list of the amount of fouls that guy gets every single game, and they don't get called. And so it's been frustrating. I know Malone was having almost an aneurysm for how frustrating it was. I get that. But as soon as the Nuggets played OKC in round 2 of playoffs last season, you got a completely different Jokic. They completely disrupted him. And I think there's a little bit of him getting too into the weeds with foul calls. He sees SGA getting these calls all the time, and he starts to think, well, maybe this is the way that the game is going towards. So maybe I gotta do some of this stuff to get calls myself. No, Jokic, no. Stop doing that. Stop talking to the refs. They're even ignoring you. Like I said last episode, they're ignoring you right now. And I feel like a lot of these bad calls that the Nuggets either get tagged up with, or the no calls that they get that they should be getting on the offensive side, I think it is also kind of due to Jokic complaining to them all the time. They're just kind of annoyed. And so the Nuggets are feeling that kind of impact from him complaining to them and annoying the refs so much. If they just he needs to back off. Just back off a little bit. Play the game that we know you can, and forget the fouls. You know, like, that's just like going to the line for like 2 buckets, maybe 3 at the most. Forget it. Focus on making key buckets, because right now I really think that Jokic, if he stopped flopping at times and trying to get these foul calls, he could be shooting close to 80%. Hands down, he could be shooting that right now if he just stopped trying to get these foul calls. So he had 9 turnovers, because every time he tries to flop, because that's another thing too, he is a really bad flopper. Every time he tries to flop, he doesn't get the call, and it turns into a turnover. That's kind of what happens. So 9 turnovers, 4 personal fouls. So he got into foul trouble. He was the only player, I think, that went into foul trouble. If I look at no, Smart did. Smart also got 4 fouls. So 2 players, but luckily Jokic didn't foul out, and he was still a +6. And then we had Julian Strawther, who played 28 minutes tonight, and he racked up 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, And then the great thing about Strawther's impact on today's game was that he shot 6 for 10 from field, a 60% shooting. You gotta love that, man. He had 2 for 5 from 3, 4 for 5 from free throws, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, was a -1. I don't think that I think it was because he was on the court at the time that they lost a point that reflected negatively on him. But I actually thought he had a really good impact in this game. And I don't think he deserves that -1. I definitely think he was better than that. But then we go to our blue arrow, Jamal Murray, 38 minutes, 28 points. So him and Jokic both got 28 points for the most amount of points of any Nugget. They tie that. 4 rebounds, 7 assists. He shot 8 for 17 from field, so not great, but could be worse, and that's not bad. 5 for 9 from 3, so that's good. And then 7 for 7 from free throw. Love seeing him hit those free throws. 2 turnovers. That's what I'm talking about. When in a game that was so heavy with turnovers, specifically from Jokic, you only had 2 turnovers from Jamal Murray. So I like that. And then 3 personal fouls. He was a +9. He was the highest plus-minus of any Nugget tonight. Bench-wise, the only one I want to talk about with bench, because really there's a lot of frustrating things about the bench right now. We're kind of back into the yesteryear, if you will, with bench stuff. But Tim Hardaway Jr., man. It seems like every time I'm talking about the bench, I'm talking about Tim Hardaway Jr. This dude is 100% carrying the Nuggets bench. It feels like he cares more about these games than most of the guys on the bench. And it almost feels like they're, tantruming, or not tantruming, but, just like Debbie Downing of like, oh, I'm on the bench, I can't play or whatever. Like, you got to be more ready. And being at that game, at the Golden State game there, he was up with Adelman. We've seen it before in when the camera goes to the bench and everything. Like, I saw it in person. That guy is very much into every single game. I love that. I absolutely love that. So he, in 25 minutes, racked up 14 points off the bench, 2 rebounds. He shot 4 for 7 from field, 2 for 4 from 3. He missed only 1 free throw, so he shot 4 for 5 from free throws, 0 turnovers, and 0 personal fouls. It was a +5. Best bench player tonight. Brucey B did have some pretty good plays tonight as well. He got blocked at the rim for almost a near highlight dunk on LeBron James, but he blocked that shot, so that's unfortunate. But then we also got some Tyus Jones minutes. The Nuggets, if you don't know, Nuggets signed Tyus Jones. He was, I guess that the word is that they weren't thrilled about signing him, but they needed someone, and it's just someone to kind of settle down some key ball handling issues. And so and funny enough, he did commit a turnover. He had 1 turnover there, but he didn't score anything. He had in 5 minutes of play, he had 0 points. So, I mean, I would have rather have the Nuggets gone for a forward, a power forward, or a small forward, someone who could defend well and shoot from 3, a 3-and-D guy. I think the Nuggets need that more than anything, or at least another backup big, because obviously Big Val just needs kind of a break, and right now you can't really do that because there's no other backup. You got Aaron Gordon out. And the other option possible, and you also got CB out, or not CB, Peyton Watson out. So you got 2 of your biggest guys out. I don't think anyone else, maybe Zeke, but we've already seen what Zeke in the 5 can do. It's not great. He definitely is better at the 3 or 4. And so I don't know. I think the Nuggets definitely need another backup big or someone to play the backup power forwards and everything. So overall stats, we had 41. Let's see here. We had 41 to the Lakers' 32 rebounds. We had 27 assists to the Lakers 30, so they out-assisted us. We had 3 steals to their 12. That's not great. That's not great at all. But we had 1 block. They had 1 block. We shot 52% from field. They shot 51%, so very close there. And that all came in the third and fourth quarter there. And then we shot 55% from 3. They shot 45%. They shot 41% from 3. And then we shot 90% from free throws. They shot 66%. I love that. We had 18 turnovers. Not great, Nuggets. Not great. And yet we still won the game, thank God. But I think that turnovers equated to a good chunk of the points made by the Lakers tonight, because they only had 10 turnovers. In a game that they trailed the entire game, they only committed 10 turnovers. Their biggest offender of the turnovers was Marcus Smart. But they had 21 personal fouls. We had 16. So, and a lot of that is coming from, just a lot of poor defending, from, I think it was, it was Marcus Smart that got racked up with the most fouls, right? Yeah. And then Luka got some fouls in the clutch too. And so there's like a couple of guys that just were not thinking clearly when they were defending, and got them the Nuggets into the bonus several times. So, but now we look to take on the Knicks. The Knicks are our game tomorrow night. So this is the back-to-back, and this is definitely a hell of a schedule here. So we have the Knicks tomorrow, and then we have on the 9th, we're facing OKC again in OKC. And then we come back home to face Houston Rockets in Denver. And then we go back out to face the Spurs in San Antonio. And then we head to LA to face the Lakers again. So we face the Lakers in just about a week again, this time in LA. Now, all of these games, except for tomorrow's game, are all national televised games. It's crazy how much more national televised games have been in the last 3 weeks for the Nuggets. It seems like every game has been national televised. And it kind of almost feels like that's another issue that the Nuggets have been having. They just have not been doing well in these national televised games. And maybe that's also the refs are intentionally, messing with them. I don't know. But so we have the Knicks tomorrow. I think it's on Monday, I want to say. So Monday is the OKC game, and then we have a back-to-back with the Houston Rockets and then San Antonio, and then there's a day break, then we face the Lakers, and then 2-day break, and we face then the 76ers, and then that's the back-to-back that we got assigned when we missed that one game against the Memphis Grizzlies. So then on March 18th is when we face the Grizzlies there. So, I mean, it is a tough schedule, and the Nuggets know it's a tough schedule. But the thing I don't want to hear is, the schedule is tough, so we can't play. Other teams are dealing with shit too, and it sucks that we got a bad schedule, but we gotta play harder. Gotta keep that energy consistent amongst 4 quarters. If not 4 quarters, at least give me a strong first quarter and at least a strong fourth quarter. If you mess up a little bit of in the middle, that's fine, as long as you don't mess up too big and you can redeem yourselves in the second half. But come on, Nuggets, you got to get better at the clutch like you used to be. And at the same time, I don't even want there to be a clutch game anymore. I want it to be at least 10 points or more for our wins. These tight games are just too much. I know that a lot of people love it and everything, and it definitely makes it interesting. But man, I want to see them not struggle. That's what I want to see more than anything. Is I don't want to see them struggle, and they are just really struggling right now. But they're getting through it. Like I said, this is their turning point, And we're going to see how well they do, especially because the word is that Aaron Gordon's going to return tomorrow. We will see. Hopefully, if he does, he's coming back because he is 100% better, and there is no problem with him getting injured again. I would hope that on that back-to-back, Houston and San Antonio, he does not play. I don't want him to play at all, but it's also, I would say, maybe he plays for in the game against Houston, because one, Spurs are so far ahead of us. I don't think we're catching the second seed. Houston, at least, we have a chance of overturning, which right now I guess we are tied with them, but they still have the advantage, which I do not understand at all, because we have the tiebreaker with them. I don't know why they are sitting in the 4th seed and we're still in the 5th seed. Like, reverse that shit, man. But since Houston is a bigger team, I would like to see Aaron Gordon play that game and then sit out against the Spurs. And then you bring him back in against the Lakers. And then with the 76ers in Memphis, you have him play against the 76ers, sit him on the Memphis. You do not play Aaron Gordon anymore with back-to-backs. That is it. No more back-to-backs for Aaron Gordon. He is way too injury prone. We can't take it. No more back-to-backs. Play him against the bigger teams, and then other teams just accordingly, right? So, but that's pretty much all I got. I know I went a little longer today, which is good because I just wanted to update you all and everything. I got some great shots. I don't know if you've already checked out that post on the page. I showed some of my work that I put out or I got during that Golden State Warriors game. Even was able to print out a couple. I might try to find a way to put them online. If you want to purchase any of the shots, you can. And then at the same time, too, this whole week I was on a convention for photographers and videographers and everything, and got a lot of great shots there, too. There was a couple of photo shoots that I was a part of. Got some great shots there. So a really productive week, very busy week. But we're now back in the swing of things. I don't want to miss another single game again. So hopefully that happens, and I will be with you the rest of the season. So, but that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And if you do feel gracious enough to give me a donation, I'd really appreciate it. The link for that PayPal is in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can head over there and tack on a take of yours or a comment about this team, about any of the players. Maybe you want to talk about Cam Johnson's droopiness, or if you want to talk about Jokic's hair, he needs to shave that hair and get a shave. Good God, he needs to get a shave. I got a shave, looking a little nice, right? Or if you want to talk about another team, you can talk about the Lakers and how fake they are. Or if you want to talk about the OKC Thunder and how dirty they are. Or if you want to talk about how awesome the Hornets are right now. Man, they are really fun to watch. I don't know about you, but they're like now coming close to my second favorite team to watch right now. But then you could also, if you don't want to talk about sports, or maybe you don't want to talk about basketball, you want to talk about another sport, baseball starting up soon, we can talk about that. Or if you want to talk about the Oscars are starting, I think they're this weekend, I believe. You can talk about that. Or if you want to talk about music, I can talk about music as well. So I'll shout you out in the next episode if you do, but I really appreciate that donation. And that's pretty much all I got. My name's CS Chandler once again, and you've been listening to CS 105.1. where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.